Stop taking probiotics. I know, a strong statement, but today we're going to be diving into the world of probiotics. We all know the positive benefits that they offer, but did you know that not everyone may need to be jumping on this bandwagon? Today, I'm going to start off by breaking down a little bit about how probiotics work in the gut and then break out specific case scenarios of how it could actually make digestive issues and other autoimmune conditions actually worse. And before we go into it, I was actually in your shoes. I was that person. I actually had 15 types of parasites, H. pylori, SIBO, mast cell activation, thyroid issues, hormone issues, and I would Google every single thing out there. How to get rid of bloating, what's the best thing for digestion, how to ramp up my immune system. And I tried so many different probiotics, kombucha, you name it, and I actually felt so much worse. And now I went back to school to become a holistic nutrition consultant, a GAPS practitioner, and I heal people all around the world with SIBO, H. pylori, mold, gastroparesis, mast cell activation. So let's just dive right into it. First off, probiotics. When we are on antibiotics or we are a C-section, we go through a lot of stress in life. That kills both our good and bad bacteria in our gut. So probiotics are a great way to restore that microbiome, to put the good bacteria back in. 80% of our immune system's in our gut. If we have skin issues going on, acne, our face is literally the mirror of our gut. So we all turn to probiotics as a positive way to ramp up our immune system, to help with skin issues, to help with bloating, constipation. But here's the deal. If we have these certain health things going on that I'm going to talk to you about today, it could actually make things worse. One thing that I really go to, this is like the key. I always say we need to pull out the weeds before we plant the seeds. Meaning if there's an underlying thing like SIBO or parasites or an infection going on, sometimes adding in things too fast can make our symptoms worse. And we have to focus on healing that gut lining first before we plant the seeds. And this is something that I do with all of my gut clients. I actually have a 4R protocol that I work on with my clients. The first is going to be remove. We remove things in the diet that are triggering the inflammation. We replace, we look at the insufficiencies in the gut. Then we start restoring that gut before we plant those seeds. So let's dive into it. Here is the first type of person or thing that shouldn't be taking, probiotics. We're going to go into it. So the first thing, this was me, mast cell activation or histamine issues. If you've ever realized you get really, really itchy when you take probiotics, chronic migraines, there's certain strains of actual probiotics that are higher in histamines. If we have high histamine sensitivity, like I said, we're having red flushing skin. For me, I would have eczema, rosacea all over my face, my skin, my head would itch, even things like bone broth, which is very high in histamine, would cause these reactions. I would get more gas, more bloating, and these strains would increase my mast cell activation. So one thing is when you are taking a probiotic, you have to really look at, do I have mast cell activation, histamine issues going on? And am I taking the correct probiotic that doesn't have that specific strain? And if you guys want me to do a whole video on the different types of probiotics, the spore-based, the Saccharomyces, and how I use those with my clients, drop it in the comments below. But the first person is histamine and mast cell activation. We have to get the right probiotics for that gut that doesn't trigger those histamine responses. And that's why if you do have this going on, you could feel worse with the itchiness, the skin, the bloating, the bowel issues, and so forth. The next thing is going to be SIBO. And I actually did a whole 3-part series under SIBO, guys, taking you through everything on what SIBO is, all the signs, the symptoms, testing. So go check that out. But a little rundown is basically SIBO is a condition caused by an abnormal increase in the population of the bacteria in our small intestine. Okay, so normally the small intestine contains fewer bacteria compared to our colon. And in SIBO, what happens is the bacteria from our colon, they migrate upward into the small intestine and they lead to an overgrowth. And this could really disrupt our digestion, leading to, I looked 6 months pregnant, even first thing in the morning before even drinking water. It can make constipation worse, cause a lot of gas, nutritional deficiencies. So go check out that video. But here's the deal. Why we think, hey, if we have an imbalance of good and bad bacteria in the gut, let's put more of the probiotics back in. It's actually could sometimes, if we choose the wrong one, make these symptoms worse. So not everyone with SIBO should take probiotics. And these are the 3 key reasons why. Number 1 is since SIBO is really characterized by an overgrowth of bacteria in that small intestine, if we're adding more bacteria through probiotic supplementation, sometimes this could exacerbate that problem, introducing the additional bacteria into that already small intestine. Okay. The second is some probiotic strains, they could actually ferment the undigested carbohydrates. And there's even some probiotics specifically that have more of the FODMAPs in there that could ferment, cause more gas, more bloating, and really make you have that uncomfortable discomfort in the belly. But honestly, this is a very individual response. I use certain strands of probiotics for people with SIBO. And as I mentioned, I do more of a 4R protocol, really getting to the root cause before we go and create that garden. And if you guys are struggling with digestive issues, I feel you. I got to the place I was down to 3 ingredients and I would still react on them. I went to every doctor out there. I had more stress around my diet, what to eat. I wouldn't go out and I didn't know what to do. I looked 6 months pregnant. I had chronic anxiety. I had crazy constipation. Even laxatives wouldn't help me. And I was stuck. I actually had over 100 colonics too, by the way. Now what I do is I actually work with individuals all around the world, getting to the root cause and healing them from all of these insufficiencies in the gut. I use a 4R protocol to get down to the root cause, correct the insufficiencies, expand their diet, get rid of the food fear. And I'm going to give a little example. One of my clients, she came to me, severe mast cell activation, down to 3 foods, mold, and on top of that, she had SIBO and parasites. And she felt 6 months pregnant all the time, would react to everything. Within working with me, guys, just 6 weeks into my 12 weeks, her gas and bloating went from a 10 out of 10 to a 0. We're having daily bowel movements with no laxatives. We've increased her food diversity with no reactions. And this is the key. The anxiety went away. She's able to go out and eat more. So if you guys struggle, you've been to every doctor, you feel like you're in my shoes, I want you to go watch my SIBO story. I'm going to link it at the end of this video for you and see if you can relate. And if you need help, send me over a little DM on Instagram or head to the description below, fill out my questionnaire. I will be in touch with you to set up a call in the next 24 hours to see if we're that perfect fit. Because the truth is, if you're down to just a few ingredients and you're like, I only feel good if I'm on these, or we have chronic anxiety, we got skin issues. I had eczema and rosacea all over my face. And when I healed my gut, literally it went away. And it's not just about adding in a probiotic or cutting out all your food. You have to get down to the root cause, because if you just address the symptom and you don't get down to the root cause, all of your symptoms are going to come back. I did the low FODMAP diet and literally added the food back in without getting to the root cause. Reactions came back. So if you need help, head to the description. I would love to set up a call to see if we're that perfect fit. Now let's go back into it. The other thing I want to mention is infections. So if we have things like parasites going on, we have H. pylori, we have the SIBO going on. When you put good bacteria back, what happens is you could have die-off symptoms. If we have leaky gut going on, and I did a whole series on my lives called Leaky Gut, taking you through what it is and how to see if you have symptoms of it. So go watch that. But if we have leaky gut going on and we have a damaged intestinal lining, then we have gut infections going on like parasites, yeast, candida. When you put good bacteria in there, what happens is it says, hey, I don't want you in here. They start fighting, and then the bad bacteria, they have die-off reactions. They release like toxins when you're killing them off, and those can go into the bloodstream, causing more gas, more bloating, headaches, migraines, and all those symptoms. So if we have underlying infections, parasites, yeast, candida, the SIBO, mast cell activation, if we're choosing the wrong strain of probiotics, or we're adding things in before we didn't really get to the root cause, get rid of the bad and start healing that gut first, these things could actually make you feel worse before better, which is why I don't believe everyone should just go on and grab every probiotic out there. And also, a lot of the probiotics out there, they're not all equal. You know, if they're refrigerated, how are they going to withstand your own gut acidity? Also, a lot of them are actually at a very, very high strain. And when you get them, they're not that full amount that you're getting. They're not that 100 billion. They put that much in there because of with all the traveling and everything, those strains die off. So it's really getting down to the individual and getting down to that root cause. And one other thing is people that have really compromised immune systems, you really need to speak to your doctor before doing anything, because remember, 80% of the immune system is in your gut. And I am never here to diagnose anything. Always talk to your doctor before adding any new supplement. I'm not here to like tell you to do certain things. I am just sharing with you guys from my experience, everything that I went through, because I was in your shoes. I struggled for years to the point I was on the floor in tears thinking I was never going to get better with my pants. Even jogging pants would hurt when they were on me. I had all of the SIBO, the H. pylori, the mast cell, and I didn't know what to do. I was trying every probiotic. I spent thousands of dollars on supplements, doctors, colonics, you name it. And it took me getting to my own root cause and healing myself, and then now being able to help other people. So I'm just here to share with you guys things that I wish I knew when I was on my gut healing journey. And I feel like there's just so much misinformation out there because everyone wants to sell their supplement and, you know, advertise this, and they say, oh, this is going to heal you for good. And then I would go buy the supplement and then feel worse and be like, well, what's wrong with me? You know, why is everyone healing from it? But the truth is everybody's body is different, which is why I do the one-on-one coaching, because we have to see, you know, were you a C-section? Were you bottle fed? Do we have mast cell activation? Do we have underlying infections? Get down to the root cause in a strategic way and add in the specific probiotic strains at that certain perfect time to really heal that gut lining. So I really hope this was helpful. If you guys liked the video today, make sure you subscribe, share it with a friend. I go live here every single day, and I'm going to link, like I said, my SIBO story at the end of this, and I'm going to try to put throughout this thing some of the leaky gut series, and then head to the description. I'll put a few other videos that I think would be very beneficial. And if you need help, don't hesitate to reach out. My passion is life. I believe everything that I went through with my gut, my hormones, just everything was so that I can help as many people as possible. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
I just wanted to hop on here and say that Elizabeth has helped me tremendously with my digestion problems. I am someone who has been dealing with severe digestion problems for well over 14 years. I have been to every single doctor. I have had every single test done. I've done a pill camera swallow twice. I've had CT scans. I've had colonoscopies like 3 or 4 times, endoscopies, you name it, I've had it. And no one could even move the needle with the issues I was struggling with. In came Elizabeth within 2 weeks, immediately started seeing some real change in my digestion. I have been put on a path of recovery because of Elizabeth. I am forever grateful. I would absolutely work with her again. She is a wealth of knowledge. She can help you. She helped me. I'm just very thankful.